And we're back. All right, so this is Dr. Sarah Renee, your Limitless Liberator, and we are talking about, in our Cookies, Cocktails, and Convos segment, we're going to talk about be limitless in relationships. So I have a special guest that's going to be joining me shortly. I'm going to let her know. Let's go ahead and join. Y'all can go ahead and join with me. I'm going to have my computer up so that I can also see any comments that come through, because, hey, this is like Q&A. But also, we're just going to chill and relax. Have a good time. Just talk and have a conversation about relationships, ladies. Why not? This is the weekend at the time of this recording, and you may just want to do everything virtually right now still. And I get that. I understand. And we're not going to let distance come between us. I noticed that as we're getting ready for the new year, and we're not going to do the same thing and get a different result, because that doesn't work. That's insanity. But rather, we're going to now have a conversation on how we can help each other out with regards to when it comes to relationships, when it comes to finding love, when it comes to being able to just be happy, whether happy by ourselves or happy in a relationship. But it's about having the right one, right? Whatever right means for you. Because being right is relative. What I may consider right may not be considered right to you. So what I want you to do, I want this to be interactive and engaging. But you gotta make sure that you have y'all daggone cocktails. I got the blue bottle. And if y'all have any questions or you want to join in, if I'm able to bring you on screen, like Sherrod, come on through. Let me know if you want to join in on the conversation and literally have this conversation about be limitless in relationships. I could have said, have limitless relationships, and that's all right, although that's another conversation for another time. But I've just been seeing so much going through on the comments and on posts when it comes to relationships. So I want to ask, I saw this post the other day, and please, y'all can shout out me in regards to who are you, where are you from, and what made you decide to join this conversation. But make sure that y'all bring y'all cookies and y'all cocktails, because we need to really let our hair down. We really need to really be raw, ready, and real. A lot of times we always sugarcoating stuff. And if y'all know me by now, I'm not one to sugarcoat nothing, because I always felt that in sugarcoating, you miss the point. Let's just keep it 100. Yes or yes? So who are you? Where are you from? And what made you decide to join in the conversation? Hey, everybody. Hey, Elder. Hey, Sharad. Hey, Shamika. Thank you, everyone. Hey, John. Thank you all for tuning in. We're going to have this conversation, Cookies, Cocktails, and Convos. Be limitless in relationships. And I have invited my special guest, my special friend, Jessica Karin. Okay, she's here. So I just need you, Jessica, to request to be on camera so I can bring you on. And I invited her to have this conversation with me because you know that it's high time. You know I'm all about being limitless, helping you to prepare for the new year. We're not going to wait until the end of the year to now get ready. You need to be ready and stay ready so you don't have to get ready, yeah? You don't know if love is right there knocking at your door, but we're too busy being distracted and looking at anything and everything else and not paying attention to what is in front of us. And like I said, I really want to get deep here. We'll see how deep we're going to get. We'll see how deep Jessica is going to get because this is right up her alley. This is her expertise and her skill in helping couples and helping those who are in relationships to know how to take the limits off, to know how to be absolutely honest and real. Because you know what? They say, whoever they are, I addressed that in one of my videos. Who are they? But they say that the top number one reason for marriages dissolving and people getting divorced and marriages not lasting after, let's say, 5 years, matter of fact, 7 years, between 5 and 7 years, you would think it's because, you tell me, what do you think is the number one reason why marriages fail between 5 and 7 years? Put it in the comment section for me. Hey, Cousin Janice, thank you for tuning in. What do you think is the reason why marriages fail within 5 to 7 years? Put it in the comment section. I'll let you know exactly what it is, what statistics actually say. And what I'm going to do is make sure I can see y'all comments. Let me see. Let's put it in the comment section. Let's see it, y'all. What do you think is the number one reason why marriages fail between 5 and 7 years? Why these relationships don't seem to work out? And I'll tell you exactly what it is, because I already know some of the answers y'all going to give. Let's see here. And again, y'all let me know, who are you, where are you from, where are you coming from? Let me see. So I'm able to see your comments now because I'm looking between here and there. But I really just want to have a quick conversation and to see how I can best serve you. And if you have any questions, let me know. Let Jessica know, so that we can best support you and serve you. It can be Q&A, but what I'm going to do is I want to know what are we drinking today? What are we sipping on? Okay, so Sherrod, thank you so much. He says, because this is right up Sherrod's alley, y'all need to check him out as well, because he seems to talk more into relationships. So I really want to invite you all to have this conversation with me, and we will put on this whole thing of, okay, well, let's put our best foot forward. But here's the challenge with that, because we have this mentality. Many of us have this mentality of faking it till we make it. I don't subscribe to that. We're not going to fake till we make nothing. If anything, we need to go ahead and just put both feet out there. So there is no question as to who and what we're getting. But I think, Sherrod, part of the reason why that happens is because this is how we've been taught, this is how we've been programmed, this is how we've been conditioned, that we are supposed to put our best foot forward in hopes that that person will like us. So now we're making ourselves be a certain way to get and gain love, as opposed to just being who we are and let the chips fall where they may. And if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But, you know, that's grown folks conversation right there. And I really want to bring on my special guest. I'm going to let her introduce herself in terms of who she is, what she does. But I am so excited to have this young woman with me. I wish I could sing it. Jessica Karin. She knows exactly what I'm talking about. She better not even.
Let me introduce myself first. My name is Jessica Karin, and I have been doing coaching and relationship, I won't even call it training. I'll say it started out with just conversations with girlfriends and friends and associates, and it kind of snowballed into me wanting to share on a more broader scale. And so I wrote a book. My first book came out in 2008, and that was over 12 years ago now. I have 6 books, all relating to interpersonal and intrapersonal communication. And that's just a fancy way to say, hey, you need to learn how to communicate with yourself, and you need to learn how to communicate with other people. But the one thing that people love about the fact when I share is that it's very down to earth. This is why me and Sarah click. Dr. Sarah. This is why we because a lot of you may not know this, but we used to have hours-long conversations just about life, relationships, career, spirituality, God. And so we're probably going to bring you into our personal domain. It's going to really be like how it used to be when we back in the day when we used to talk. But I really want to help you guys. Come with your questions. You're real, like she said, raw. We're really trying to help our sisters get to where they want to be in life and try to figure out why they're where they are right now. So, that's a little bit about me. I've been doing this. I've been speaking for a little over 20 years. I know I look like I'm 20 years old. Come on now. But I started out very young. And
out the room.
Yeah, well, Sarah remembers. She remembers when I was a little bopper and I was trying to come up in the world. But yeah, I started out when I was very young. But this is my heart. This is my life. So please, and this is Dr. Sarah's life too. Please bring your questions. We are here for. We got our cocktails. I left my cookies downstairs, but I got my cocktail and I'm ready. So let's go.
Let her rip. All right.
Yes.
Hey, Rashida, thank you so much for tuning in. And gentlemen, there's some men that was joining in on the conversation. Sherrod, John. So hey, it is open. It's open forum, and we want you to be raw, ready, and real.
Yes.
So let's talk about it. Y'all put your questions and comments in the comment section. And if you want to join in, if I'm able to bring you and add you on into our camera, I would be more than happy to add you on. Yeah. So that you can come with your comment and your question as well. But please, no holds barred.
Yeah.
Because I think that first and foremost, Jess, because you're communication, you have been a communications major, you're big on communication. We were just talking about how that's the number one reason why marriages fail between 5 and 7 years is the lack of communication.
Yeah.
It's not the sex, it's not the money, it's actually because of the lack of communication. And that's where the breakdown comes with. It impacts the money and impacts the sex and all that. But really, the challenge becomes that people aren't communicating. Yes. They're not really being real. Yes. And they're always putting their best foot forward, but they're forgetting the other foot. Yeah. And that other foot seems to be what's glaring. That's what really other people are really paying attention to. They're looking behind your best foot and looking at the daggone foot that isn't the best foot. Yeah. And then it's like, I didn't sign up for this. So please, if you talk to us in regards to, just shed more light into that. Like, why do people want to fake it till they make it? Why is it that they're only putting their best foot forward, but they're trying to hide the other parts by which is glaring? And then that's when the relationship starts to crumble. Please share.
Well, let's start with the interpersonal perspective, how you're communicating with yourself. And I'll say it that way because a lot of times it's our expectation of what we want from the other person. We bring that perspective into the relationship. And then when they don't do what we think that they should do, we kind of like, when we don't communicate with our partner, we don't communicate with that person, what it is that we're expecting from them. We don't talk to them about it. We don't share it. Then they're not aware of what our expectations are. I would start with the individual, yourself. You're not coming into it honest. You're not coming into it realistic. What you're doing is you're saying, hey, this person didn't do what I expected them to do, but we're not putting our expectations on the table. So what we do is we ignore the foot that's dragging because we don't put it out there. And the first thing that person says, what did they say? You never asked me. You never said anything to me about it before now. And that is why a lot of us get hurt, because we are not coming into the situation with clear communication and clear expectations. And we're not telling that person that. So when I had to, I just started a new journey myself. And lots of times what I would do, even being a relationship expert, is, oh, he should know what I'm thinking. You should know what I'm feeling. And we end up self-sabotaging our own happiness because we're not saying what we need to say up front. I encourage everybody. We can't complain about the foot that's dragging if we don't put our expectations out there in the beginning. So now, what happens when we do communicate clearly? We do put our expectations out there, and then we see a foot that's dragging in the background. At that point, we need to analyze what flags have we ignored. I always say the red ones, the green ones, the purple ones, and the blue ones. They're all sorts of flags. So what type of flags have we ignored in that situation, in that circumstance? And what could we have done to kind of tie those points in together? But like you said, the communication aspect of it, we ourselves have to take ownership over how we communicate with that other person first and foremost, because we can't expect something from a person we're not willing to give up front. So that's why I said deal with the interpersonal component. But the other part of that is interpersonally, we need to create an environment that's conducive for communication. How do we allow that person to express themselves? What types of things, what types of questions do we ask them? What types of now, a lot of times, let's be real, okay? Keeping it real. Lots of times people just want to communicate physically. You spend all your time physically connected with the person, all your time. Oh, the sex is incredible. It's amazing. Okay, so how many conversations have you had with this person? Then you want to complain about a dragon foot. Sister, please. You need to start by leveling the playing field and stop putting so much energy in one aspect or the other aspect. The communication has to be the consistent theme from the beginning to the end. So that's just a little brief overview.
That's just a little brief overview. First of all, I'm so glad I'm off work. I love this. I love this. I love this. Shoot, there's nothing for me to say. All I got to do is just drink right now. Because Jessica is dropping bombs and fire up in this piece. Yes, that's my North Philly coming out.
Hey,
y'all have to do the cocktails. of all, Jessica, that was fire. And let me tell you that the comments are fire as well. I swear. Let me just read a couple for you.
Sure.
First of all, I want to give a shout out to Rakia. Hey, thank you so much. BCC in the house. And she said, yes, expectations. I was told to throw that out the window a long time ago. And she had said, it can be the misunderstanding and being understood during the communication that damages the communication. Fire, fire, fire.
Yes.
And then my girl, Anitra Green, she's a licensed clinical social worker and, hailing Chester, PA. Thank you so much for tuning in. Y'all make sure that y'all check her out, because if you are going through a grieving process, she helps you to grieve through hope. She has helped me when I had when I had lost my mother. She was there for me, but she's been with me since the beginning of time. I'm talking about past 25 something years. Wow. So shout out to you, Miss Anitra Green. And she has said the root word for dating is data. Yes. It is time to ask the questions and communicate clearly up front. Yes and yes. Snap. Yes. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you so much for lending your voice and your comments, because that helps us. Energy begets energy. Yes or yes. So as we're giving you energy, y'all giving it back to us, and that we're just synergizing and we're just helping to strategize what is the best solution for you to be limitless in your relationships. Yes. So just real quick, I just want to say thank you so much for what you just shared, because yes, it is about the communication. Yes, it is about being able to be clear with the expectation. Because one thing I was thinking about, as women in particular, we would say, yeah, you are supposed to know what I'm thinking. Yeah. Or what we do is we'll talk. Then we'll be like, okay, what did I just say? Right. What did I just say? Right. As if corner them and be like, okay, did they hear us? And hey, human nature is that we're going to catch the last few bites of that, and they'll just say with the last part that they can remember, and be like, see, you didn't listen. No, that wasn't it. And I think one thing that you had said too, and you said it earlier, was as we're having communication with our significant other, but it also starts at home, which is us having that communication with ourselves. Can you elaborate and share a little bit more about that, please?
I think a lot of times, so I'll put it this way: we don't purchase a vehicle, a home, a major expense without hopefully doing our research, right? And I remember when I was in the process of purchasing my home, I felt like I was ready one year, and then I said, you know what? I'm not ready. Sometimes we're not honest with ourselves to say, maybe this is not the right time for me to engage romantically with someone. That intrapersonal communication, that honest conversation with yourself. And I'm not just talking about what the social media explodes with every single day. We're bombarded with self-love, know your worth. Yeah, girl, you got to do this. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, let me sit down and have an honest conversation with myself. Let me ask myself, am I emotionally available right now? Some of us have 3, 4, 5 past relationships that are knocking at our, you know what I'm saying, our spirits. They have drained us, and we are still emotionally available to people who are no longer emotionally available to us. So what we try to do is we try to enter into another sphere and romantically with someone else, and we are not available. We are not available. This is why, even though I talk about the interpersonal relationships, the biggest thing for me to talk about that I love is intrapersonal communication. I need to know for myself, where am I? Let me locate, GPS, drop your location. Let me drop my own location, find out where I am right now. I think that's where it starts.
Jesus, I wanted to get up. I wanted to shout. I was ready to throw the shoe. That was awesome and fun. Jesus, that was awesome. Did y'all catch that? Did y'all pick up what she's putting down? So Nitra's like, yes. No, y'all, it is a matter of being able to find out about you being emotionally available. Because, let me tell y'all, because I had enough cocktails, and I'm trying to give you some time just to have a couple of swigs yourself. So go ahead. So listen. This is why I wanted to have this conversation, because I think this is the only time that I'm going to I'm being limitless, but this is the only time I'm going to, really share some things about myself. And I will delete the video so that y'all won't be able to incriminate me. But yes, what hit home for me on that was, hey, being emotionally available, but we're giving ourselves to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. We're in the past.
Yes.
Jesus. We're in the past during the present state.
Yes.
We're in the past with Jay. That happened 40 years ago. We're in the past with Harold, where something happened with him and now we just couldn't get over him. But yet we brought him, Jay, Tom, Dick, Harry in our current relationship.
Yes, girl.
Because here's the thing. I think it's because we think that we can't have one whole person.
Yeah.
We can't have one whole person.
That's a word.
We can't have one whole person. We can't have everything in one. We think that's too good to be true. Like, no, I can't get the laughs and the ish and giggles with Bill here like I did with Steve. And the sex is great with this dude here, but it wasn't as great as with Marshall. And so now I'm still back in time with those individuals, or I have more than one individual. And I have the main one. Someone had put this meme up in one of my groups that I'm in. They put this meme up and it said, it had like 5 dudes in it. And it was like weed, drinks, laughs, main dude, and sex, whatever it was. And the point of the meme was you got the main man, but you have the other 4 that you're getting all those things from. And I had confessed in it. I said, you know what? Listen, I was there. I've been there, done that thing. And I have no problem sharing that because if it's going to help you to be limitless, it's no problem. I was big and grown to do the things that I've done. So I have to be big and grown to be able to share it if it's going to help you to become limitless in your life and your relationship. Yeah. So I was like, I've been there, done that. And I am no longer interested in doing that. And this one girl, younger girl, and not saying that, that young girls can't, whatever. It's like, I'm just saying for the point that, hey, I'm auntie now. Some of them call me auntie because of that. I got some wisdom going on.
That's right.
So she was like, well, I don't know, auntie, because, I just don't think that I can have it all in one person. It's just too good to be true. I said, the day that you decide, this is the word here too, the day that you decide to be whole, the day that you decide to be one person, the day that you decide to be present,
there you go.
Then you will be able to see that, I can't get this all in one person. I don't have to be here, there, and everywhere. You just get tired sometimes. So I said enough just to try to give Jess a chance to get her swig on. But please, go ahead, y'all. Y'all can go ahead and talk back to us. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Nathan, Susan, Nitra, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. This is Cookies, Cocktails, and Convos. We're talking about the Limitless edition with Be Limitless in Relationships. We're here to help you to transform your relationship so that you can be limitless in it and have the limitless love, the limitless everything that you so desire. And we have our special guest, our hot host. I don't know if she remembers that. Our hot host, Jessica Karin. She is the relationship coach, and she is here to help you to reset and to be limitless in your life with your relationship. So, Jess, please. Anything else?
You know what? I really appreciate what you just shared, because I think people need to hear that women like you and like myself, who are encouraging people, who are out there on our own platforms doing big things and wonderful things, that we're still women. And something that you said really moved me because, and I'm about to help some people.
Come on, help them. Help them, girl.
What you said about not finding everything in one person, and when you decide what you want to do. So I'm going fast forward, rewind. So the last 10 years of my life was like a pure living hell. Kept choosing the wrong people. and having kids in between nonetheless. But I love them. But the point is, I kept choosing the wrong people. And one day, when I was finally free from my last relationship, my last long-term relationship, I said, you know what? Forget this. I'm going to do me. And I was trying to find things in different ones. Can I put myself out there? I was trying to find different things in different ones because I felt like I couldn't get it in just one person until I decided one day. I said, you know what, Lord? I'm tired of this foolishness. I'm going places in my life. I'm a beautiful, intelligent woman. I got a lot to offer one person. You know what? It's just going to be one. I don't have time for 5 and 6 and 3 and 4. I want one person. Share my life with, be my homie, my lover, my friend. This is what I want in my life. And you know what? That's exactly what happened. When I was ready to be what I needed to be for myself, emotionally available, and when I was tired of trying to search for all of these things, I found one person that I have all of those things in. I never thought it was possible. But let me tell you something. Sometimes we have to make that choice. We have to be resolute and we have to act on it. We can't have our pocket men, because some of y'all do. I said this on one of my videos I did on Facebook before. We have our little, in our phone and our contacts, we say, all right, pull up. We got our pull up men. Well, you got to get rid of your pull up men. You got to get rid of your back pocket men. Because if you're serious, then you will make a decision on your own that this is it. This is what I want and this is where I'm going. So thank you for sharing that story, Sarah, because that really brought something up in my life that I had to go through on my own and figure out for myself.
That's excellent. That's excellent. Thank you so much for being transparent and open. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and you're sharing your comments. Rakia has said, you know, I have to go through to get through and to. Yes and yes. A lot of times we're always trying to look about how we can go around things, go over things, go sideways, don't go no way. But the only way to get to that other side is absolutely through.
Yes.
And because it's in going through, that's where you get refined. That's where you get cultivated. That's where you grow. That's where you get your strength. We're so busy focusing on the pain that we miss out on the blessing that's happening and the evolution that we're having, even in these relationships. Let me tell you right now, oh Lord, I'm about to secondhand cuss to the cuss. Oh Jesus. I mean, I think I need to hold them and fold them. I got some of my church family in here. So, but you know, hey y'all, we're just keeping it real.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, listen, it comes a time where you have to make a decision. Put that in the comment section, everyone. Decision. Decide when it's high time that, you know what? I'm tired of these playmates. I want my soulmate. So I'm going to put my playmates away and I'm going to be available for my soulmate. Because see, here's the issue there. The word is also called presence. Please put that in the comment section. I'm going to give y'all 3 words to put in, and I want y'all to meditate. I want y'all to really eat those words. Decision, then being present in the relationship.
Yes.
Don't be in the past and don't be in the future. Future didn't even happen yet, so don't predetermine nothing. And being stuck in the past when you're not the same person that you were back then. You're who you are today. Be present in the moment. So I regret no thing of anything that I've done and gone through. I used to, Jess. I used to, Anitra. I used to. And then it got to the point like, why? Because I looked at it as it was helping me to grow and to cultivate. It was locating me as well. It was helping me to see me. A lot of people don't want to see who we really are. Because we start to think about what people said about us, or really the conversation that we have in our heads and our minds of what we have concluded in the situation. So what I mean by, and I'm saying this while Jessica takes another swig, I'll keep talking so she can go ahead and get her cocktails on. So like an example would be, I was talking to one of my clients in regards to her relationship. That's actually how I started my business. As a counselor, I actually was a marriage counselor and I wasn't even married. How about that, y'all? But the clients didn't ask me if I was married. And what I was helping them on wasn't about the marriage, but more so about their relationship. How can they be connected? How can they be, which is the 3rd word. So y'all gotta be ready when I just throw these wisdom nuggets at you. The word is align.
Please put that in the comment section.
That's,
Align.
that's good.
This is grown folks conversation right here, y'all.
Yes, it is.
This is no teeny bopper stuff. This is real grown stuff. Alignment. But anyway, you know, when I was helping my one client out, and the issue was she couldn't find herself. She lost herself. She didn't have an identity. Her role, her title, everything about her was wrapped up in the titles and roles, and into her husband's vision, into his mission. And I had to help her set her free. Here's how. I was like, look, I understand that he has a vision, and we were taught and conditioned to let go of our visions and, you know, try to help our husband out and all that. That's some stuff right there. That's some stuff right there.
Yeah, it is.
Because if you were in alignment, then your vision is his vision. His vision is your vision, meaning that you're not giving up your vision. It seems like y'all would be in alignment, like y'all would have a shared vision. That it would be nothing for you to want to help and support. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because that is a part of who you are. And I'm not saying as a helpmeet, just you here just to be a helpmeet, but you're here because you also have a purpose and a mission and a vision to fulfill. So that you too can be limitless and you impact the lives that you're here to serve. So don't regret nothing, because it helps you to grow, but it also gives you a message and a story to help someone else. Like I did with that one client, I was helping her from a counseling standpoint, but also I was able to lend some of my experience, my expertise, because back in the day, Nietzsche knows this conversation, this story, but back in the day, Lord have mercy, I was something else back in the day, in college days. I was something else. I was something else. Because of, and that we can use excuses all day long, but it is what it is. To share real quick, and then I'll stop, because I want to help someone. I'm just flowing. When I was going to college, and this is in my book, It's Your Turn Now, 7 Secrets to Living Life in Your Own Terms. So y'all make sure y'all pick up the book. It's in Amazon. Y'all go ahead and pick up this book, because it will absolutely transform your life, because I was being real and open and transparent. But the day that I went to college was the day that I got sexually assaulted. And I couldn't tell a soul. My parents were waiting for me. They were waiting for me in the car. And I had to, there was someone that I trusted, someone that was supposed to be my friend. And he raped me. And I had to dissociate myself. I had to dissociate. I had to pretend as if that never happened. So I had lost myself. My identity was wrapped up in my virginity. So I was like, well, who am I now? And I had to dare not show nothing, especially in front of my mom. Oh my God, I didn't want her to go to jail. I didn't want her to go to jail. So they took me to college, and I went buck in college, because my whole thing was, so I'm saying this to you and I'm sharing this because sometimes we gotta locate the genesis. Why do we do the things that we do? Why do we behave the way that we behave? Why do we think the way that we think? Why are we still doing the same type of pattern and cycle? Because it could have been a trauma. It could have been an unfinished a situation that has happened that you probably blocked out and dissociated yourself. We're just trying to help you to get limitless and get set free, really get deep in into this thing. Yeah. And I went buck. While no one understood that or knew that, I had the attitude like, you know what? Well, I'll give this up if you be my friend. I'll do this if you do that. Right. And it got to the point that I was like, you know what? I'm going to start having notches in my belt then. I'm going to be the dude. I'm going to be the one that's calling the shots. And that's exactly what happened for the next 20-something years. Not realizing until one day, when as I was counseling my clients and having me sitting on that couch, like seeing me on the couch with these different clients, God was trying to tell me something, because I had to constantly the same people coming to my couch. And I was setting them free, or setting me free. It helped me to actually see, like, wow, that's me right there on that couch. And getting the inspiration and the word on what to say to them to help me get free of that pattern, of that cycle. That it was no longer me having to live that life from 27-something years ago, that I wasn't the same person then. I didn't have to keep doing this cycle. I didn't have to keep doing this habit anymore. I was tired. And when you're tired and really tired, you'll stop. Yeah. When you're still doing the same stuff and you're like, you know, I'm tired. No, you ain't tired yet. When you're tired, you will stop. Yeah. And I had to make that decision, y'all. Put decision in the comment section, because that is a big word in regards to that's how you move forward, when you just decide. I decided that I no longer wanted to be the girl in college or the girl that was raped. I wanted to be the girl that was whole, I wanted to be the girl that was set free and no longer regretting what has happened, or saying like, okay, it was my fault. I shouldn't have went down there. I shouldn't have dressed a certain way. I shouldn't behave a certain way. What did I do wrong? I didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
I had to let go of the story that I had concluded in my mind over that situation. And when I decided to do that, I tell you the truth, it was like a big relief. I started to put so many things to rest. It brought closure. And that's why I'm here to share this story with you today, so that you can be limitless. But the whole point of why I shared that was to help you to understand yourself. Like what Jessica said earlier, having the conversation with yourself so that you can be emotionally available, or wondering why I am limited. Why am I emotionally unavailable? Sometimes we have to go down deep, even if it hurts us and we want to avoid it. But if the avoidance isn't serving you anymore and it's not helping you to get free and be limitless, then we invite you to have a conversation with us. We invite you to, it doesn't mean that you're crazy. It's okay to seek professional help. It's all right. You know what I'm saying? All right. Right, Jessica? You can go to Jess. She needs a coach. I'm done. Go ahead, Jess.
No, you know what? It wasn't until I was, I swear I would never do this, but reveal my age. Well, I'm not gonna reveal it. I'm just gonna say that I'm reaching another decade.
Lord have mercy, girlfriend.
You can decide which decade that is.
You're funny.
But the point is, it took me a very long time, a couple of decades, to even know who I was. And here I was. So I had an opposite story, because I was, I was close to 30 years old before I lost my virginity, and my identity was wrapped up in that, in the way that I felt like I was holding on to it. And when I was in a relationship for 4 years, that didn't work out. Then in a relationship for 3 years, that didn't work out. All in church, all in God, all Christian. And then when I got to the point where I said, you know what, forget it. No one's trying to marry me. Nobody's trying to, have children with me. Let me just do my own thing. And I went out there. And when I say over the next 10 years, I made up for the previous couple decades, I really did. And at that point, when I'm just putting it out there, I made up for it. I had never had a drink. I had never smoked. I was pretty much Mother Teresa up until that time. So when Pandora's box was open, girl, I know people in the church saw me in the club like, what did she just say? I didn't do it at the same time. I didn't do it at the same time. But when I say all of that transpired because of failed relationships, how many bad decisions do we make in our own life? How many wrong turns do we make? How many opportunities do we forfeit because we are hurt behind a romantic experience, a man, something that scarred us, and things that we didn't normally do? I will tell you this. It's on record. I sat on the hood of somebody's car while they drove the car. Yes, I was that kind of crazy. Yes. When I tell you, okay, you do tell. I turned into a person I did not recognize because of a romantic Sarah, stop. Because of a romantic relationship. I lost myself. This is how I can speak on identify where you are if you're emotionally available. I had so much junk in me over that next 10 years of my life that I had to get out to get to the point that I'm at right now. That's why when you share, hey, I decided to throw, caution to the wind and say, I'm going to be the dude. I'm going to get the notches in my belt. That was me. That was me. And a lot of women, a lot of you guys, we do this because we feel like it's a control factor. I feel my power was taken, so I need to take it back. I don't care if you're the guy that took it from me. You are a casualty of war, sir, and you will pay for the mistake. You will pay for how this one treated me. How often do we do that?
Yes. Yes.
How often do we do that?
Yes, yes.
And that means, ma'am, You know, I don't even mention this guy's name, but he says ma'am all the time. That means, ma'am, that you are not healed. Okay? I'm not endorsing him, I'm just saying. I like when he says ma'am. That means, ma'am, that you are not healed. And you have no business on Bumble. You have no business on BLK, ma'am. You have no business on Plenty of Fish. And you have no business on, what is it, eHarmony. You need to take several seats, and this is all in love. And you need to reevaluate and reassess where you are in your life emotionally before you can move forward. That's all I'm saying. I had to do it. Sarah had to do it. Dr. Sarah had to do it. So it's just a matter of maturity and locating where you are.
Wow. Boom, 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 boom.
We're still professionals. We just keep it real.
Well, actually, I was gonna ask. I want to know other people's crazy stuff. Put it in the comment section, y'all. We're nosy now. I'm nosy. What's the craziest thing that you've done? So she was on the hood of the car. I gotta pick which one crazy I did. And
just that's not the craziest thing I've done. That's just one of the craziest.
Right. That's okay. That's one of the things. So hey, y'all put it in the comment section. We want to know. Inquiring minds want to know, what is the craziest thing y'all did when it came to the relationship? How did that man or woman push you to the edge? Listen.
Yeah.
One time this dude got me so mad. Man, listen, I'm dating my age. Someone asked, "How tell your age, beautiful." So
you want me to answer now? I can.
Yeah, go ahead. Well, how old are you, girl?
I'm 39.
She's 39, y'all.
Don't look at them. I feel it sometimes.
The rest of us are like 40 and 50 on this thing.
I don't look at them, but I'm 39. I'll be 40 next year.
She'll be 40 next year. Wait, girls, listen. Wait until you get up into your 40s, okay? It's gonna be fun and fabulous.
I'm gonna be holding on to 39 for dear life then.
I hear you. So who was this? They said, so Markia said she laid in the street to keep his attention. Listen, I'll top that. This dude got on my nerves so bad that I'm dating myself. Do y'all remember the daggone thick DCRs that had like the double, like it was like the double one? And because I was a quiet storm, people thought that I was quiet. They thought I was innocent and sweet, and that was always my hook. So he got me so mad, I took that whole VC.
Oh my gosh.
That whole thing. I did the whole VC. And for his head.
VCR,
the double one, the whole entire thing I threw.
Wow.
I was in for his head. And then after that, I got scared. I was like, oh, shoot. He just looked at me.
Wow.
I was ready to throw down from North Philly. Y'all can't listen. There's no fear. There's a meme out there that says that Philadelphia women are the toughest men you'll ever meet.
Look, and guess what? You guys, I'm from Philly too. So we cute and everything, but you know, we can throw down. We done had our fair share. We ain't afraid to scrap now.
We're not. We're the toughest men you'll ever meet.
Yes.
So,
yes. Still classy though.
Still classy, and we keep it classy. We'll still have our pearls on and everything. But listen, we just want to let you know, first of all, everybody, thank you for tuning in. This is Cookies, Cocktails, and Convos. We have the Jessica Karin. She is a relationship coach, and she's an author and an amazing speaker. If y'all have any questions, if you want to follow her, and if you want to connect with her and see how she can help you to be limitless in your relationship, please contact her. How can they contact you, Jess?
Yes. So my website is www.jessicakarin. So that's JESSICAKARIN.com. That's also my name on Facebook. And IG is Jessica Karin _official. So if you go to my website, you'll see all of my social media. I have blogs out there and everything like that. And my books are on my website also.
Awesome. And hey, we just want to let you know, we're talking about be limitless in relationships. So we're having cookies, cocktails, and convos, and we're just keeping it raw, ready, real, so that we can help you to be limitless in your relationship. And what I wanted to do was stabilize the room, just kind of check in. We said some deep and heavy things that perhaps you weren't ready for. Where are you right now? How are you feeling? Just want to check in. Put it in the comment section. How is this conversation for you? What resonated? Anything that has resonated for you, anything that was like a light bulb for you, can you please put in the comment section? We would love to hear from you. And let us know if you want to join in, if I'm able to add you on video. If you want to join in and share real quick, please let me know. Put in the comment section so we can bring you up. But yes, we're about to almost bring this to a close, actually, because we want you to kind of just see-la it. We want you to kind of sit in with this and to see how this will help you to be limitless in your relationship. So we already talked about some of the limits that plays part, the being emotionally unavailable, the lack of communication, the unrealistic expectations or expecting your significant other to read your mind and to know what it is that you want. The challenge of really self-love, or even starting with you first in regards to where are you? Are you ready for a relationship? We're just trying to see what are those limits. I already shared in regards to sometimes it's a trauma, an unresolved trauma that may play part as to why you're finding yourself doing the same thing over and over and over again, and you just don't see your way through. And another limitation that I can share with you, and then we're going to talk about how to help you out, especially those who are in the relationship. Sometimes just it's like, okay, what can they do? They're in it. It's like, it's one thing to try to help people to prevent from, but it's another when you're in it and it's like,
Yes.
well, you still love this person, or you have children by this person, or you know, you don't believe in divorce and you just can't see your way out. So we can share a couple of tips of what that person can do to help themselves out. But one more limitation that I want to share, as I keep trying to give Jess an opportunity, I don't like drinking alone. Sorry. Jesus is Lord. So
Why you,
you choke on your wine?
while you take a swig?
I know, right? I'm talking about Jesus, Lord, right? Lord,
I'm with you, but
look, listen, I don't have a comeback for that right now. Too many cocktails. One more limitation that happens is what we tend to do. My Jesus, Lord, I'm about to share one more thing. So if we have an unresolved conflict that has happened growing up, we tend to reenact. I will give you the definition. It's actual term for this, a clinical term, and I'm just going to explain what it is. And then when I get the definition, I'll put it in there, or the title, the name of it. But we reenact that situation. An example would be, it's another confession. Many of y'all know I didn't get along with my daddy. Oh my gosh, that's a shocker, right? For those who just start following me and my journey. But for those who've been around for a minute, y'all know I didn't. Me and my daddy, we did not get along, okay? So daddy-daughter issues. But I tend to have ended up being with men who were older than me. And because I was trying to subconsciously resolve the emotional unavailability between my dad and myself. So I would tend to be with someone called Johnny on the Spot, where they were older than me. They were a musician, like my daddy. And lo and behold, guess what? Still the same old daggone thing, the emotional unavailability. And I thought that I could try to reenact it, but I wasn't conscious of it. Even being a therapist, y'all, I wasn't conscious of it because, hey, I don't wear that hat all the time. So just me being me, I thought that I was trying to resolve it until I had to realize, when I came to the awareness and realized what I was doing, it made a world of difference in my relationship with the people that I was with. And I had to no longer try to fix it in my relationships with my dad. I had to fix it with my dad. Like what Rakia said, you know, the only way that we're going to get over to the other side is to go through. So I had to fix it with my dad. Then I was able to fix it in my relationships. So I say that to say, locate the limitations that are happening. You're like, be honest, be real, be raw, be ready. So that will help you in the process of being emotionally available, being able to work on home first, which is you yourself. It's not about you trying to find happiness in everything outside of you. Happiness is from within. So all that's going on is whatever you're having in your world right now that's happening is a reflection from what's within. And you can argue me all day long with that. That's the real honest to God truth. Whatever is going on in your life right now is a reflection from what is going on within, how you're thinking, the pattern and cycles that's happening in your life. If you don't like it anymore, then it's time to do something about it. And that's why we thank you for tuning in. That's why we thank you for joining into this conversation, because apparently it was high time for this conversation to happen, and that you're here for a reason, in hopes that this helps you to take off the limits, tap into your limitless potential, and go after your next when it comes to your life, career, relationships. So with that said, please put in the comment section anything that resonated for you. Please put in the comment section. Any questions that you have, put in the comment section. If we're able to bring you up real quick, if you have any comments or questions, please put in the comment section. Jessica, please, and let us know how you're feeling. We just want to kind of restabilize, check in, because we said some deep and heavy stuff that we didn't want to trigger you, but we just felt that maybe it's time to help you to take the limits off, to no longer be limited, but to be limitless. Yes? So we do this in love. So let us know how you're feeling so we can help you out. Jessica, please bring us home. What can we do for those who are in it to win it, who are in the relationship and they don't see their way as far as, like, you know, leaving it as an option, or they got kids and sometimes that's hard to leave it. We're not trying to, you know, advocate for you to leave or to stay, but it's just more of, you know, hey, these are the limits that's happening. We want you to be aware of it so then you can help yourself out. So Jess, do you have any tips or strategies to help those who are still in it?
Years ago, and I did a video about this also, but years ago, someone told me who was married, they were in a relationship, they had children with the person, and there was some infidelity in the relationship. And they told me something I never forgot. They said, you know, you have to know you've reached your limit. Everybody is different. In my situation, I had been in abusive relationships, physically, emotionally. In one of my relationships, I almost died twice. And so being in that complete situation, I had to learn what my limit was. I was in that relationship for 6 years. And it wasn't until the danger of my children was a concern that I left. There may have been someone that may have told me, hey, you should have left 2 years prior or 3 years prior, but it's not until a person is ready and they have hit their limit to leave. So to some, that might be an obvious reason, but let me bring it down to a basic level. You may be in a situation, say, hey, abuse is not in the picture. There's nothing really bad happening, but, you know, I just feel like I have run my course with this person. And again, I'll put it back on personal choice, but I will say that you have to look down the line. Now, I know we talked about looking in the present and not going to the future, but in some cases, if you're in a situation with someone in a relationship, you have to look down the line and you have to say, is this going to be beneficial to my life, my health, my wellness, and my safety? Sometimes we wait for a person to change and we wait for a person to show us something different when there is no work being put into the change of that person. And we ourselves are not facing the reality that if there's no work put in, then there's no outcome that we want that's going to come out of it. And so if you're in a situation right now and you're in a circumstance, the one thing that I can encourage you to do is that you cannot want to change the relationship on your own. It has to be a joint effort. If there is not a joint effort, you're spinning your wheels, you're going around in circles, and you have to decide what your limit is. You can't complain about what you permit. So if you want to get on the phone with our good girlfriends, our cousins, our aunties, and say, this man ain't treating me right, you know, he's not providing for the family, I'm working, and he's not paying any bills, he's sitting on his behind all day, and I've been there too. And when you get to the point where you're like, you know what, I really need to just face realities and I need to make decisions that are going to be best for me, then you have to separate yourself from that situation and move on. I don't advocate anybody to leave their partner, but what I will say is, if it's a situation that is not producing the proper result and the person is not willing to put in proper work to change.